Hi everyone, today I'm going to dive deep into content marketing. In my previous post, I spoke about the importance of creating and producing original, high quality content in order to build a strong personal brand to advance your professional ambitions. And I've received a huge number of requests and questions on LinkedIn. And this is why I love LinkedIn, for the level of engagement and the level of interaction that you get there. So from all of these questions, the overarching idea was we understand about the importance of content marketing, but how to build, how to create a killer content. So just to go back a little bit, if you missed my previous post, and just to recap about importance of content marketing and importance of creating high quality content, because that will determine the impact and influence your personal brand will have on your audience, eventually forming that brand equity, which is the ultimate goal for any brand, any organization, any company, or any professional working for a company. So first of all, you need to step up your content marketing game in order to build that strong personal brand and in order to be seen as a thought leader in your niche. So how to do it? I'm going to share with you the 5 pillars that you need to focus on when you are creating or documenting your content. Pillar number 1 is value. It is the most important part of creating a content. You have to deliver value to your audience, something that will help them grow, learn, evolve, succeed, laugh, feel better. You will have to deliver value. Always think of end user at the end of the day. Whatever you produce, think how can you deliver that value that no one else can. You will have to deliver something of a value that they will not be able to get anywhere else but from you. That's why it's important to produce the value, the original value. So it's not something that they can check and it's readily available everywhere. It will have to be that value that they really are looking for and they cannot get anywhere, but they can get it from you. So whenever you create your content in whatever shape and form, whether you're writing a blog or you're creating videos for your YouTube or you are recording a podcast, in whatever shape or form your content is, always remember and keep in mind to deliver value to your audience. Because at the end of the day, for you to fast track to a position of being seen as a thought leader is for you to share knowledge and expertise in your industry, in your niche, for your audience. And to do so is by delivering consistently value that they can benefit from, value that will grow them. So this was pillar number 1. Pillar number 2 is relevance. When you create content, make sure that you stay relevant. You know who your audience is. You know what your niche is. So you know what the topics or the questions or the challenges that your audience will be interested in. So don't go into diving into other topics that will serve very little value or relevance. That's something that it cannot relate to. So whenever you write content, relevance in terms of the topics that you write about, the different strategies or tools and insights that you share, or your inspiring story that you're sharing, or be it a storytelling. Whenever you create content, make sure that you're staying relevant to your audience. You need to know what their needs are. Unless you know who you're talking to, it's very unlikely that you will be relevant. So first of all, you need to understand who your audience is. You need to really know well your niche, and you need to know well what you deliver, what differentiated value that you deliver. So when you do that, always make sure that you're staying relevant. And relevancy also can be taken into another dimension of, for example, the current happenings, what's happening, the latest news, the things that are happening in the world that can affect your audiences, either business or life or their career. So tap into those topics that are relevant overall to your audience and also relevant today in today's economy, in today's climate, and today's situation. Pillar number 3 is engagement. I mean, in today's world where there's so much of noise on social media, there's so many brands, so many people are trying to deliver so many amazing messages. How do you stand out? How do you even get people to watch your content? The key is to keep your content engaging. That means whatever niche that you're working in or whatever genre that you're working in, you need to make sure that you're always engaging. So if you're a motivator, that you need to make sure that your story is inspiring as it can get. If you are in a field, in a niche of providing education, that you have to make sure that the way you deliver that knowledge or certain expertise or skills or tips that you share, that they are really packed with some solid insight and that they can use and apply in their life. And the way you do it, it has to be engaging. You have to know what you're talking about. And then, for example, if you are more into stand-up comedy or your entertainment field, you have to make sure that then your content is hilarious as it can get, because at the end of the day, if your content is not engaging, if it's not inspiring or fun or personal, if it does not engage, if it does not grab the attention of your audience, then no matter how much value that you have in your content, and no matter how great your content is or how much knowledge or expertise that you share, if it's not engaging, it's just not gonna even stop people to spend their few minutes or few seconds of consuming your content. So keep your content engaging. Pillar number 4 is authenticity. Stay authentic. Be true to yourself. Be true to your brand. Because at the end of the day, people relate the most. People get inspired the most. People get engaged and love brands that are really personal, brands that are honest, brands that talk about their own story, their own journey, their own experience, share their own expertise and their own strategies, their own tips, their own tools, their own products and services. Whenever you see content that's we see a lot today, the content that's being kind of replicated or peeked on other people's content, and they just kind of like replicate it or just copy paste type of content. You can tell because you see that type of content everywhere out there on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you go. So make sure that you are producing original content. To produce original content, you need to be true to yourself. You need to be self-conscious of what you're great at, what can you really deliver that that you have expertise in, something that you are good at as well, and something that you're truly passionate about. So don't try to be someone else, to portray someone else in your content, try to tell someone else's success story, try to come across as someone so smart and taking someone else's strategies and tools, because at the end of the day, when there's so much of very similar content out there, people will know that it's just the same content being replicated and copied and pasted and used and reused. So be original. It doesn't mean that you have to think of an idea that, oh my God, like break your head over it. No, it can be a concept that already exists. It can be a strategy or a tool that already exists, but the way you apply it, the way that you had a certain experience, the way that you've gathered a different perspective or different insights from it, this is what makes it original and authentic. So keep your content original and authentic, because all the great iconic brands, they're loved for their authenticity. Okay, and the last pillar is consistency. I've just listed the 4 pillars previously that are extremely important to building a high quality killer content. But to keep up that momentum, in order to build that ladder to being a thought leader, in order to having a strong personal brand, in order to grabbing all those professional opportunities and succeeding, you must be consistent. Consistent in terms of creating that content, sharing your content on a regular basis, and consistency in terms of the quality that you produce. You need to make sure that you are consistent. We all know, certain brands or singers or companies or politicians or actors who were on a rise, who were so popular and were doing an awesome job and they're well known, but then suddenly they kind of fade away because they lack consistency. So when you produce work, when you produce your content, you have to be consistent, because you don't want to be because you don't want to be faded away in the mind of a consumer or in mind of your audience. You don't want to disappear in this and saturate in this market. In order to be on top of your game, in order to succeed in your career, you have to produce high quality, original, authentic content that serves as a value and inspiration and engages other people. You need to do that consistently. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them below. Like and share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.